Could you benefit from building supreme confidence? What would change for you if you played your best when under pressure? What's it costing you to not have the confidence, the poise, and skill to execute when your team needs you most? I've created an exclusive training video designed just for you. I outline the 3 critical keys to building unshakable supreme confidence and dominating under pressure. You'll also find out how you can apply these to your career today so that you can start to speed up your results and follow a predictable system to get you to your goals. Go to IMNOTYOU.com/dominate under pressure. You can go ahead and access that free training in less than 2 minutes. You'll be learning exactly what I teach my high-performance professional athletes and clients about what it takes to dominate. Again, IMNOTYOU.com/dominate under pressure.
If you try to get right, then you listen to my dad. He's a beast. And if you don't want to listen to him, okay, you don't want to get successful. If you ain't trying to dominate, man, then go listen to something else.
Welcome, athletes, top performers, and all those looking to gain that killer instinct, that edge you need to dominate in any environment. This is the Sports Motivation Podcast, and I'm your host, Niyi Sobo. I played ball and succeeded at the highest levels, and I'm now committed to showing you how you can accomplish the ambitious goals and visions that you have. This podcast is designed to teach you high-level strategy, not just fluff and hype. This will cut to the core if you let it. And by taking action on the practical and next-level advice I share, you will see results. Expect that. Expect to be more confident. Expect to be more focused. Expect to be more decisive. And expect to be more fearless. Expect to become the leader your vision needs you to become. So listen up. Take notes. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Sports Motivation Podcast. It's your host, Niyi Sobo, peak mindset consultant, showing you how to accomplish your goals. If you haven't already, please go check out the Get Your Mind Right podcast. Get Your Mind Right is a segment that I literally came up with as I was running. I remember very vividly when I had the idea, I got to start dropping like short, hard-hitting, motivational style pieces that people can listen to while they're working out, doing whatever. So I started it, and it's actually honestly like one of my favorite things to record. And people have been loving it, requesting it so much that I decided to create a separate podcast that just has Get Your Mind Rights on there, back to back. Almost no ads, nothing, just straight up content, back to back to back. So go check that out. Just search for Get Your Mind Right in the search engine on your iTunes podcast feature. Subscribe to it and do your thing. I also want to say thank you. Like, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I can't tell you how grateful I am for not just you listening, but you actually listening, getting the value from it, and then sharing it with your friends. The podcast is literally growing exponentially. Like every single month, we're shattering old targets. The numbers are growing, and that's all because of you sharing it with your peoples, sharing it with your friends. And that tells me that you really are living it, because if you listen to something and then you share it with someone, that means you care about that person and you want them to get results. That makes you a leader. And that's what I'm all about developing. I don't want to talk to people who want to just fit in with the crowd, do what everybody else is doing. I want to talk to the people who really want to lead, who really want to be out in front, setting the tone for everybody else, dominating. Man, the world needs more of those. The world needs more leaders. And so I appreciate you. Like, honestly, you tell your friends about it. That's like the best thing you can do for me, for my business, for this podcast, for everything. So I appreciate you. Much love. All right. So today I'm going to be talking about the law of attraction, and I'm going to be talking about how to use it to reach your goals faster. It's kind of one of those ideas or topics that's widely debated or, looked down upon. Some people swear by it. Some people don't know what it means. Some people have no idea. I'm going to explain it to you. It's very, very simple, but I want to show you how you can use it to reach your goals and not use it in the way that most people do, because most people latch on to like one idea, right? Like the law of attraction or, anything. I'm looking at the 10X rule by Grant Cardone. I love Grant Cardone. but you could latch on to the 10x rule and say, oh, that's the way, that's the only thing. Or you can read, find something in a book and say, that's the only thing. That is not the way to think at all. That's not the way to think. Life is many different shades of gray. There is no black and white. So while sometimes you hear me talk very, very adamantly about certain things, I never want you to develop the mindset of someone who just takes one thing and then acts like that's the end all be all. No, I'm all about continuous growth and expansion. And there's some books that I read literally like 5 times a year, where every time I read it, I look at something a little differently. Maybe I shift the way that I look at it altogether. I evolve. I don't want you to be scared to do that. So the law of attraction is one of those ideas, all right? But before I get into it, let's frame this around like what, because you're not the type of person who's just, going to Pal's bookstores, or I say Pal's, that's the bookstore out here in the Northwest. One of those persons going to bookstores, buying a bunch of books, and doing it for the sake of like, just, like the type of people who just read and subscribe to a certain type, like they're a certain style. There's an image that comes to mind when I hear the law of attraction, and it's the image of someone maybe drinking some tea from a, what do you call those? A mason jar, more hippie-ish, more meditating on a beach, not shaving their armpits type of joint. My point is, this is not what this is about, all right? And I hope I didn't offend anyone by saying that. I'm just keeping it honest about like the law of attraction. Especially you go on the internet, type it into YouTube, you see a whole bunch of people talking about it, and you might develop certain beliefs or feelings around it. This is not about that. This is about you reaching your goals. You understand? This is like, that's what I want for you. And by reaching your goals, achieving your outcomes, getting your results, whatever word you want to use, I want to help you get what it is that you want. And most of you listening want things that a lot of people don't have. You see what I'm saying? And so I want to remind you, that's what this is about. So I'm not, telling you to go out and get the law of attraction tattooed on your arm, or, this is all about you reaching your goals. All right. So you might be at the point, hopefully you've listened to my New Year's episode. You've laid out your plans for the year. You follow that system, which is super legit. And if you haven't done it, please go back and do it. The episode I dropped in the beginning of January showing you how to map out your goals. So maybe you set up your plans. You got the habits going, right? You got some momentum, and you're doing what you got to do. But you might not be seeing the results that you want. Or let's say that you are seeing some results. So maybe you're seeing some results, maybe you're not. But you're doing what you got to do. You're checking off the boxes, you're moving, you're practicing, you're shooting the shots, working out, you're on track. But then I see you when I ask you how you're doing, and you're stressed out. You're anxious. You say things like, I'm grinding, hustling. I have no problems with those words, but let's just say that a lot of times when people use those words, they don't have really positive connotations. Even though we're taught that we need to grind and hustle, there's this assumption that every time we're trying to reach a goal, there's got to be some negative emotion behind it. Tired, stressed, anxious. So if I ask you, like, what is it that you really want? You'll say the goal, right? So let's say you're trying to, make the Olympics. I use that example a lot because I know that's the highest achievement for a lot of athletes. Maybe you're trying to get that new contract. Maybe you're trying to get the scholarship, take the starting spot. You say you want the goal, but let's be honest. Is this what you really want? Is that what you really want? It's not. It's not the goal. It's the reasons behind the goal that you really want, right? It's what you think the goal will give you. So what do you really want? You want the goal. But this is not what you really want. It's the reasons. And what will your goal give you? What is it that your goal is going to give you that you want so bad? It's an emotion. It's a feeling that you'll get. So you don't believe me? Why is it that so many of our favorite athletes, so many superstars, singers, actors, they seem to have all the goals. They seem to get all the results, but they still feel horrible about themselves, depressed. A lot of them committing suicide. stressed out of their mind, alcoholics, druggies. And these are the ones who have the results. These are the same results that we're going after. The accomplishments. We do things because we think getting a certain thing is going to help us feel a certain way. And it's why we all have different goals. We all have different ambitions because we all want to feel different ways. We have different ways that we want to feel. Ask someone why they want money. Everyone says they want money. All money is some paper. Nowadays, it's not even paper. It's a number on your computer screen. It's not the number on a computer screen that you really want. What is it that you really want? It's what money will do for you. And what will money do for you? You'll say, well, I can have more of this. I can be able to buy this and buy that. I can pay these bills. Well, what will that do for you? How will that make you feel? More freedom. Some people say it makes them feel more abundant. It makes them feel more alive. Some people say it makes them feel more secure. Is there a difference between secure and freedom? Yeah, those are totally different feelings. But it's the same goal. It's the same goal. The goal is just a tool. The goal is just a vehicle that's going to bring us what it is that we really want, which is the emotion. So the question is, how do you want to feel? The guy going after the Olympics, the person trying to become a millionaire, the one trying to get the scholarship. What will achieving this goal really make you feel like? That's the real target. And here's the thing that they don't tell us. Here's the thing that we fail to realize is that we don't have to wait to get the goal to actually hit our target. You can hit that target early and actually make reaching your goal that much more likely and that much more fun as well. And that's when you utilize the law of attraction. So what is the law of attraction? I'm just going to read you a small excerpt from the book called The Law of Attraction by Esther and Jerry Hicks. It goes like this. The law of attraction is responding to you, to your point of attraction. And your point of attraction is caused by your thoughts. The way you feel is caused by the thoughts that you are thinking. So the way you feel about yourself is your strong and powerful magnetic point of attraction. When you feel poor, you cannot attract prosperity. When you feel fat, you cannot attract thin. When you feel lonely, you cannot attract companionship. It defies the law. Many around you want to point out reality to you. They say, face the facts, look at what is. And we say to you, if you are able to see only what is, then by the law of attraction, you will create only more of what is. You must be able to put your thoughts beyond what is in order to attract something different or something more. That's powerful. I suggest you get this book and read it. What they're saying is that the world, what you see, is a mirror to your emotions and your beliefs. So what you believe is true, you'll see out there in the world, and you'll only attract more of it is that you feel. So if you're trying to reach all your goals and you're going hard, but you feel anxious, stressed every day, that's only what you're going to see out in the world, and it's going to be a cycle. You're only going to see more and more of that. So your job is not to stop working, not to stop putting in the work, but your job is to closely monitor your beliefs and your emotions. Remember, beliefs, what you think about, what you think is true, your thoughts, the quality of your thoughts leads to how you feel, which is your emotions. Your emotions lead to the quality, to the quantity, whether or not if you take action, it leads to the quality and quantity of your action that you take. And we know that you're not going to get anything unless you take that action, right? But let's make a distinction here. Hard work is not the only determining factor in whether or not you reach your goals. There are spiritual elements involved. There are things outside of our control, outside the realm of what we even understand that are taking place that allow us to reach our goals. If you don't believe me, just look around. Some of the hardest working people in the world are poor. Some of the hardest working people in the world don't have an ounce, a lick of success in the ways that you and I might define it. Some of the hardest working people in the world are stressed out of their mind. It's not always about hard work. It's about your emotional quality and what you're attracting to yourself. There are spiritual elements. And again, I'm not telling you to stop working hard. I'm not telling you to start meditating, 4 hours out of the day and drinking tea out of mason jars and, smoking doobies. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you to keep working hard, keep staying alert, determine that feeling it is that you want, and find ways to cultivate that feeling now. All right. Because look at it. What will happen if you feel that feeling right now? What if you didn't wait to achieve the goal? You actually started feeling that feeling right now. What if you didn't wait till you made the Olympic team? You actually felt the way that making the Olympic team would make you feel. You felt that emotion today, like right now, when you're training, when you're at home, when you're watching film. What if you actually felt that? You would take better action. You would be more bold. You would have less anxiety, less stress, more fun, more life. So the question now is, how do we take this up in the air, this up in the clouds concept like the law of attraction, and bring it down to reality, bring it down to practical use, action right now for you and I, what it looks like. I want to share with you what it looks like, because honestly, I believe in the law of attraction, because there are so many things that have happened to me, so many results that I've accomplished that I have no idea how it happened. I have no idea. And I was doing the work, but sometimes I wasn't even doing what I needed to do. If you look at my strategy, you would say, dude, you didn't do that, but I still got the result. Why was that? Is that a coincidence? I don't believe so. I believe this universe is operated under spiritual laws, not physical. It's far beyond the physical. When you talk about, like me becoming a professional athlete, reaching my goals of playing in the NFL, do you know how many other people could have been in my same position? Do you know how many other people were better than me, who maybe even worked harder than me? Becoming a firefighter, getting my two sons, full custody of my two sons, when it seemed literally impossible. All of these things were once things that I just wanted that actually became real. And it's not because of me. I didn't put together all you can't do that. A farmer plants a seed. He doesn't make the seed grow. Now, he can cultivate the ground. He can water it. He can protect it. He makes sure there's no birds trying to eat up his crops. But there are spiritual elements involved. He is not involved in making that tree grow. All he does is plant the seed. So here's how we put it all together. All right, follow me. Number one, identify your goal. All right, ask yourself, what's your goal? What's your number one goal for this year? That's something you should have done in the beginning of the year when you did the workshop, the Dominate the Year workshop. What's the number one goal? Identify it very, very clearly. Then I want you to ask yourself, why do you want this goal? And I want you to list objectively all the reasons why you think you want this goal. So you want to make the Olympic team, you want to, make $1 million, you want to get that new job, you want to get the promotion, whatever it is. Write down all the reasons why you want it. Because I'll get more money, because it is, because I'll, boom, boom, boom. Write down all the reasons. And this will give you some awareness about the real motivation behind this goal. It's not about the goal, remember. Then the next thing I want you to do is ask yourself, but why do you really want it? How do you think you'll feel when you reach this goal? How will you feel? How do you think you will feel once you accomplish that goal? And I say think because I know that you are probably like me, where you've probably had some goals that you wanted to accomplish, or even things you wanted to get. And when you got them, it wasn't as good as you thought. Am I right? Maybe it's a pair of shoes. You waited all line for them Jordans, and then you got them. And it's like, what? That was it? You were waiting, though, because you thought it was going to make you feel a certain way. So ask yourself, how do you think you'll feel when you get it? And that should be a very clear emotion in the form of, if it's not a one word, like I'll feel free, I'll feel excited, I want you to actually find out how you'll really feel. So I'll feel like what? I'll feel like I actually matter. I'll feel like I can do anything that I want. I feel like I'm not limited. I'll feel like I'm the best. What is it that you think you will feel like when you get this goal? That feeling that you just identified, that is now the thing that you have to make your everyday goal, to feel that way today. Not when you get the goal, today. And so here's an exercise that we're going to do. Write down what you would do if you felt that emotion right now in detail. What would it look like for you to walk through this day feeling that emotion? So if or getting that starting spot is going to make you feel like you are the best, right? Let's just say that. I want to reach that goal because I'll feel like I'm the best. What would it look like for you to walk around right now feeling like you're the best? What would you do? What would you say? What would you think? How would you act today? That's going to give you a really clear idea of what it's going to look like for you to actually embody this emotion right now. All right. So you're probably thinking, but what if I actually legit feel negative emotions? Like, what if I'm actually really anxious? I'm actually really scared. I'm really tired, whatever. Right. I'm glad you're thinking that way because you know as much as I do, I'm all about boldly facing reality. I'm not about ignoring reality. However, reality is, there is no reality in all honesty. But what your emotions are doing is they're pointing you to your point of attraction, right? When she talked about those beliefs. So if I felt a negative emotion, and this is what I do, I ask myself, what would I have to believe in order to feel this way? So if I'm feeling anxious, what would I have to believe in order to feel anxious about reaching my goals? Man, I'd have to feel like maybe this isn't going to work out. I'd have to feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I'd have to feel like maybe I shouldn't have set this goal in the first place. I'd have to believe maybe I'm a little afraid of failing. And those are all the beliefs that you have. That's your point of attraction. So even while you're working hard, but you got those beliefs behind, you're sabotaging your hard work. You're sabotaging your own hard work. It's like the farmer who plants the seed and he comes back every morning and digs it up and sees, oh, I don't know if it's going to work. I just want to see if it's in there. Or you're trying to make some lasagna and you open up the oven door every 5 minutes. It's never going to cook. You're sabotaging your results. You're letting the heat escape. Trust the oven to do its work. But those beliefs that show up with those negative emotions, you got to be thankful for those because they're a thermostat. They're letting you know this is how you feel. This is your point of attraction. So as long as you're still feeling that way, you're going to keep attracting those results. So that's got to be a signal to change it, right? So then you probably asking, well, how do I change it? Listen, there's a ton of ways. And I suggest you go look back at all my episodes. I think I have 2 now, how to change your beliefs. But the really simple answer is, honestly, align and redirect. Align and redirect. It means understand why you're feeling that way and point yourself in a new direction. So here's a very simple exercise that I do probably like 5-6 times a week. At periods of time, I do it every single day, depending on how I'm feeling. And I have all my clients do this. It's called the spin cycle. And I've talked about it on this podcast, but I'm explaining it again. Take a piece of paper, write a line down the middle. On the left side, write all of your negative thoughts, all of your thoughts, your beliefs, your ideas that are going through your head. Write them down exactly as they appear. After you do that, look at them, appreciate them. Don't judge them. These are just thoughts. They're not you. They're just your thoughts. Each one of those thoughts, start at the top. On the right-hand side of the paper, I want you to write a better, more high-quality thought. An example would be, I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach this goal in time. Write a better thought. It's still possible. There's some things that I haven't done. There's probably some resources I haven't used. I'm going to check them out today. That's a thought. It doesn't have to be beautifully written. It doesn't have to be some carefully crafted affirmation. No. All it has to do is be better than what you just wrote. And if you do that consistently, you'll start to change what you believe. It's like someone who's overweight. Just start not eating cheese. How about that? Just start not putting mayo on your sandwiches for a week. That's a lot of calories you're going to burn just right there. Even if you don't take out the sandwich, keep eating the chips and the soda. Just take off the mayo. And then after you take off the mayo, you know what? Go to half a sandwich after that. What's going to happen over time? They're going to lose weight. It might not be really fast. It all depends on how fast you want to lose it, right? So with the beliefs, how fast you want to get rid of the belief? How aggressive do you want to be? So the spin cycle is one. Another method is prime time. That's when you literally take an emotion and you make yourself feel that way. You decide to feel that way. You grind that emotion in. You transform yourself. You literally become it. You morph into that emotion. And the way I do it, I put music on. And I speak out loud. I say the things that I want to believe out loud. I look myself in the mirror. I look myself in the eye. I convince myself. The eyes are the window to the soul. So if I can look at myself and believe, yep, that's real. I do believe it. I can accomplish this goal. I will accomplish this goal. I have all the resources that I need. All the things that I need are coming to me easily. And my eyes are open. I'm alert. I'm creative. I'm resourceful. I use all my resources. I never quit. I will never fail. It's impossible for me to fail. This is what I say to myself. And I do it in a powerful way. I scream it. I listen to music. I get emotion involved. I overwhelm myself with the emotion. So that's another way to do it. All right. At the end of the day, interrupt the negative thought pattern and insert something else. You can't interrupt it and just chill out. You have to stop thinking a negative thought and input a positive one. All right. So even still, when you don't feel like it, do what the person would do who does feel that way. All right. So many times I ask myself, maybe I'm not feeling legit. Maybe I'm not feeling great, right? Maybe I'm not feeling the emotion that I think my goals will give me when I reach my goals. But I say, you know what? If I already felt that way, what would I do today? What would I do? Would I call that person or would I be scared? Would I write that email or would I convince myself not to? Would I have fun with my kids after I'm working or would I be all in my head, checking my phone, stressing and worrying? I'd have fun. I'd be all in. I'd take my family out to dinner after work. I'd schedule a trip to the beach with my wife randomly. That's what I would do if I already had the goal. And so it's my job to think that way. Even when I don't feel like it, do what that person would do who feels that way. The next thing I want you to do, make sure you notice progress. All right. Notice progress towards outcomes. Do not leave any wins on the table, and no progress must be left uncollected. You got to collect it. And the analogy I use, collect it. All wins are like money. Some is a penny, some is a quarter, some is $1, some is $200. You might have big gains, small gains. All gains are gains. Collect all gains. Collect them. Put them in your piggy bank. Take them to the bank. Insert them into your account. Let interest build on them. If you don't collect them, you're wasting money. You're leaving money on the table. And then when it comes time to perform, you actually have money to take out of the ATM and cash out. But if you didn't collect any wins, you go to the ATM, you can't even take out a $20 bill. You got $16 in your account. Collect all wins. Next thing, assume the goal. Assume it. Assume the goal. Assume it's already done in how you show up. That means showing up to practice, acting like the one who's already got the spot. And how does the one who already got the spot act? He's confident. He moves quickly. He moves briskly. He plays great defense. He gets low. He closes out. He doesn't look to the sideline every time he makes a mistake. Why? Because he knows he's the He knows he's going to bounce back. If you're a real one, then you know how to bounce back. And he knows he ain't got to worry about nobody taking him out. So act that way right now. Don't wait till you get the spot to act that way. Do that right now. Some of you acting like, oh, when you got a full ride, you still in high school. I'm gonna wait to start lifting weights when I get to high school or college. No, do it now. Assume the role of the person that you already want to be. Assume it right now. Listen, another thing that I want to remind you of: do not ignore reality. Face reality, okay? But use the reality to modify your approach. But you got to use the emotion as the fuel for your actions, right? So if reality is showing that you're not getting the results, like you're not doing your thing, you're not seeing the gains, you're not gaining the muscle like you wanted, the coach is not putting you in, you're not hitting the shots like you wanted, you're not getting faster, don't ignore it. I'm not telling you to ignore it and just keep on going and like that didn't happen. No, use that reality, use it to help you modify your approach. But still use the emotion as the fuel that's going to be the fuel to your new actions. Does that make sense? This is where a lot of people get the law of attraction wrong and they don't see results and they end up saying, oh, it doesn't work. That's not true. You just ain't using it right. Gravity works. You just ain't using it right. The last thing, and I got this from my man DJ Khaled, DJ Khaled, the rapper slash producer, he's not even a rapper. I don't even know what he does. I'm not even sure if he produces. All I know is he has a lot of albums, very successful, collaborates with some of the best artists in the game, and he makes hits. He's responsible for hits. Let's just say that. And what he said in his book, it stood out to me. And my wife got that book for me for Christmas. I didn't think much of it. But when I read the book, it blew me away at how powerful, how practical it was. But what he said was this. He said, always anticipate the next step of your vision and act on it. So that means look to your vision and say, what's the next step, right? So for that high school athlete, he's saying the next step is going to college. So what he's saying, what DJ Khaled was saying is anticipate that next step and act on it right now. So if you know you're going to college and you're going to need to be strong, you better get your ass in the weight room today. Anticipate the next step of your vision. So go look for that agent right now. Do what you got to do right now. Start studying that playbook right now. Start lifting weights right now. Get in the best shape of your life right now. Don't wait. That's the law of attraction. You're assuming that it's already done. You want to be a superstar, then develop superstar habits today. Today. That's why people, it was funny. I went through a period of time early in my coaching program where I had some younger athletes, and I would question myself. I'm like, man, am I putting too much on them? I know I got my pro guys doing this, but I don't know. Should they be writing out their goals like this? And, after a while, I was like, what am I talking about? They absolutely need to be doing this. Imagine what's going to happen. You on a fast track. If you in high school, mapping out your goals in high school, evaluating yourself in high school, establishing pregame routines in high school, ruthlessly evaluating yourself in high school, reading books in high school, before you become a pro, before you're a professional, before you're one of the best in the world, you are going to progress at a fast rate. So I make no distinction. I got my kids blueprinting. I got my kids reading books. My son just finishes one, a Darren Hardy book. I used to be like, man, I don't know if they can understand it. Hey, anticipate the next step of the vision. I want them to understand it at the next stage. So let's do it right now. Let's plant those seeds right now. Let's move forward aggressively right now. Become the person who you want to be right now. Don't wait. If you're feeling stressed and anxious all the time, you're doing this whole thing wrong. You're doing this whole success thing wrong. If you want to feel successful, or if you want to reach a goal because it was going to make you feel successful today. Ask yourself, what would I do today if I already felt successful? What would you do? What would it look like? You cannot wait. Life is right now. Life's happening right now. No result is life. There is no result. There is no goal that is life. This is life. You are life. Results are going to come, but they come more fast to those people who value life. Those people who use the right fuel, the right emotion. Use it. So why would someone not do this? Because I've ran into the people who say, nah, man, I'm not the type of person to pat myself on the back or, whatever. Okay. So why would you not feel the way you want to feel right now when you reach your goals? And the assumption that's behind that is this for these people. I can't feel this way because I haven't reached the goal. Okay. So what would you have to believe in order to believe that? Basically, so you're saying you have to accomplish something before you can feel the way that you want. And so accomplishing things is not always fully in your control. True or false? Most results are not fully in our control. We influence them. The farmer doesn't have full control over whether or not that plant sprouts up. He has some control, but he doesn't have full control. So what that person's saying is how you feel is out of your control because it's the results that's responsible for how you feel, not you. Hey, not me. I'm in control of how I feel, and so are you. This cannot be you. How you feel is your choice. Your choice. So if you want to feel stressed, anxious, worried, and anxiety ridden, all of that, if you want to feel scared, that's your choice. It's not the fault of your goals. It's not the fault of your vision. It's your choice. And when you understand it's your choice, you have a new sense of freedom, a new sense of power about you. You cannot control your results all the time. You plant the seed. God takes care of the rest. Like I said, man, I can't tell you how many blessings that I've been given. And I honestly, in my right mind, cannot take full credit for the things that I've been able to accomplish. Hey, but I know this. I plant seeds. I plant the hell out of those seeds. And I cultivate that soil. I watch it day and night. I water it. I protect my investments. I protect those seeds that I plant. And I move aggressively. And I display my faith, my belief, which is what God responds to. He responds to faith and belief. I display that. It shows up in my emotion. My emotions assumes the goal is already done. It's already done. And that's possible for you. You will have days where you don't feel like you're going to accomplish your goals. And this is not to make you worry more. You should actually be thankful, because all that's doing is highlighting those negative beliefs for you so you can root them out. All it's doing is showing you where the weeds are at. So go pluck out the weeds. Go pluck out the weeds. Do it organically, though. Don't use fertilizers. Only organic, all right? So take out those weeds. Do those exercises. Journal. Be honest with yourself about how you're feeling. If you say, you know what, today, man, I feel stressed. Good. Use that. Don't sulk in it, though. That can't be your primary source of fuel. It's alerting you. So root it out. Prime time a new emotion. Root it out. Prime time a new emotion. Assume that the goal is already done. Because it is. On a quantum field. I'm not going to get all scientific on y'all, though. So look. Get the Law of Attraction book. Read it. I want to hear what you think about it. I'm actually curious. Email me, niyi.sobo@gmail.com. Love to hear your comments. I love the feedback I'm getting on the podcast. It makes me go harder. It makes me work harder. I do this for you, all right? The goal is to help you become fearless. The goal is to help you accomplish all that you want and more. The goal is for you to inspire others to do the same thing, for you to be leaders on your team, for you to be leaders in your home, in your schools, in your workplace, for you to be leaders in life, all right? So let's lead together. Let's do this thing together, all right? I love you. Keep going. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Sports Motivation Podcast. Make sure if you dig in the podcast, go and subscribe so you can always get the latest episodes. I come out with a new episode twice a week on Tuesday and Friday at 3 a.m. Eastern. And make sure you go ahead and rate it and leave me a good review. As always, I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Much love. One of the most common questions I get from athletes all the time is this: what is the single best thing I can do to reach my goals? How can I set myself apart from everybody else? Obviously, there are a lot of things, but the one thing that's helped set me apart was having a coach, a mentor, someone to show me the right strategies and how I need to do things specifically to achieve my results. So you could try to do it on your own, but you'll end up making many mistakes that could have been avoided if you had someone guiding you and coaching you along the way. 99% of athletes in the world have expert coaches to show them the things that they can't see. If you want to work with me as your coach, I want you to go to IMNOTYOU.com/SRC and learn more and sign up for a free coaching session. I'll give you 60 minutes of my time for free, and I can teach you some dynamic strategies, plus show you how you can secure me as your sports results coach. All I ask is that you fit in this criteria. You're serious about your sport, you're willing to invest the time and money, and you have clear goals of taking your game to the next level, or some sort of specific results you want to achieve. This is definitely not for everyone, and I have very limited spots available for this. So, if this applies to you, I want you to take action. Go to IMNOTYOU.com/SRC, and I guarantee you're going to take your game and your career to the next level.